Well, it's happened, ladies and gentlemen. Marjorie Taylor Greene has fallen from grace. America first, America only. Her time in Costa Rica in the new $5 million mansion could very well be coming to an end because it seems like now she's coming back to America just in time for the midterm elections. She's trying to be a disruptor. She's trying to be an agitator. She's trying to be a Tucker Carlson. She's trying to be a Thomas Massey, a Candace Owens. And in doing so, Marjorie is firing some hand grenades at the president. Says, warning, when you cast out and try to destroy those of us who fight the hardest, and you keep and protect weak, cucked men. Would that be the same men that, you were married to and you cheated on? Well, let's just say you have a problem on your hands. We are in your cult, and we owe you nothing, and we are still the strongest fighters. Marjorie posted that a couple of days ago at about 8:17 in the morning because she gets up now and she doesn't really have a job to go to. She resigned and she's on a very hefty pension. And now Marjorie's feeling left out and she needs to do something to remain viable. So what do all of the washed up has-beens do? Well, they start a podcast.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She's been leading a very valiant fight.
We did not vote for this. We voted for an end to foreign wars.
They are going to lead us into World War III. Release the Epstein files. Every single name.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves.
My sole focus is putting America first.
We don't give a crap about your opinion.
Why don't you off? How about that?
She doesn't give a rat's ass about the donors. She cares about the people.
Paying farmers in Ukraine. Well, our farmers are going broke. This is America last across the board. Taking away Americans' guns. They're claiming that'll keep Americans safe. That's insanity. NPR and PBS have increasingly become radical, left-wing echo chambers. You all can hate us on your own dime. I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
Oh, I know.
You should be prosecuted for crimes against humanity. You belong in prison, Dr. Fauci.
The people of this country are what matters.
I won't stop living, I won't stop speaking, and I won't stop fighting. And neither should you.
So this is a heck of a highlight reel for Marjorie. Now, there were a couple of things, if you noticed in that clip, when she said, the Epstein files. Marjorie didn't release anything. Marjorie stood behind a lot of people holding up signs blaming the president for a lot of things. Marjorie mentioned Anthony Fauci. Marjorie never brought any charges against Anthony Fauci while she was a member of Congress. She never called for him to be charged with perjury. She never called for him to be impeached. Now, she's got this Brian Glenn guy, looks like a very happy couple, and Marjorie has, made the rounds around the gym and Congress, and she says the right things when it's convenient. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Isn't that right, Miss America First? I think she should change this to Costa Rica only. But Marjorie's going to be starting a podcast. She's going to be out on the circuit. And I'm sure a lot of us will probably not be watching. Now, the other thing that Marjorie did, not while she was a member of Congress. No. She posted recently about Thomas Massey. He went on the House floor and talked about the USS Liberty. It was the first time that Thomas Massey had mentioned the USS Liberty, the CIA intel ship that was a naval vessel controlled by the CIA operating in foreign waters during a time of war when they were told not to. But, that's what the CIA does. But Marjorie never missed an opportunity for a good grift. Greene is using this. She is using the backs of those sailors that were killed to incite more trouble. And it gets better. Here's another post that she made just a couple of days ago. The people who fought against the release of the Epstein files have been targeted. The ones that wanted to put all that out. Targeted with what, Marjorie? For years, Americans were promised accountability. Well, I'm glad you left so that you wouldn't have any of that accountability. No one's been prosecuted from the stolen election in 2020. Marjorie, you were a member of Congress. You could have brought this to the floor. You could have pushed to pass the Save America Act. But no, you didn't. It was too easy. And I looked and I couldn't really find any legislation that Marjorie had written that had passed through the House and been approved into law. Now, she goes in a little bit more, no accountability for the Fauci era crimes. She could have brought this to the floor. Says instead, the loudest attacks have been directed at 4 Republicans. Yeah, Marjorie, Republican. I'm not sure if that's really the conversation anymore. But we're starting to see how Marjorie and some of these other bad actors act when they're forgotten about. Here's another one. Our government is captured by a foreign government. And this is a reply to Alex Jones, another wannabe conservative that has really flipped on the country, flipped on his base, flipped on the president. The only reason Alex is probably not in prison is probably Donald Trump. Says Pentagon raised a threat of Israeli spying on U.S. to high level. Does anyone believe this? Alex Jones is now using NBC News for information, right? And then Marjorie says our government is captured by a foreign government. Now, some of the replies here says the woman who resigned rather than fight. You took your ball and went home. You know that you're now a regular person. Just shut up. And I think that's what Marjorie is forgetting. She is a regular person that is so America first that she took her toys and she ran away. She didn't really do as much for America as some of us thought. And I think the president has now gotten the last laugh. Now, I want to show you one other person that's fallen from grace. Candace Owens recently been in Russia. So now we have Marjorie, America First, Jones, or Green. Sorry, I don't know who she's marrying next. But then we've got Candace Owens going to Russia, saying Russia's good, even though we've been told by, I don't know, every smart individual on the left that Ukraine is the right one to support.
I encourage literally every person in the world to visit Russia. Apply for a visa. You actually are allowed to do that, Dana. Go see the Kremlin Museum. You will be spiritually moved by Russia. Everything, and I mean everything that we have been told about Russia is a lie. Okay? So when Tucker Carlson was going around looking.
What else have we been told that's a lie? We've been told a lot by Candace about, what happened to Charlie Kirk. We've been told a lot by Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Rand Paul. We've been told a lot by Matt Gaetz. We've been told a lot by, Tucker Carlson. All of these people that were excluded from a cabinet position have either resigned from Congress and started a podcast or went on some show that you can't find. They started their own show, Tucker, Candace, and it seems like they just spin more fables, spin more false truths, and they just continuously lob drama at the White House rather than actually coming together and coalescing to get something done. That's what they do now. This is where we're at with the Candace Owens and the other laundry list. But I think Marjorie, there was a lot of people that trusted Marjorie in and around the Make America Great Again movement. And now she's aligned with the likes of Nick Fuentes, maybe Graham Plattner. That's that same group, James Tallarico. That's the way we're starting to unfold this. The longer that she was in Congress, the more that we found out about her. And we found out a lot about her relationships. But now that she's free, she's got a podcast coming. She can tell us about how the beach was down in Costa Rica. How soon before Marjorie goes on with the likes of Megyn Kelly, Sean Ryan, Candace Owens? There's about 15 of these podcasters. They just make the circuit. They just continuously just go on each other's shows and just have these echo chambers. They never really give any information. They never really provide anything. They never really do anything. Just throwing drama and misinformation your way. If you like this kind of content, Ben Dykes, retired from the Navy. See you in the next one.